Hello, I'm Paul McDonald from Robert Half International.
And I'm Larry Harrington, Chief Audit Executive from Raytheon Company.
Today we're here to chat with you about a presentation we're making at GAM, the General Audit Management Conference. Larry and I last year collaborated on a white paper along with the IIA that focused on the 7 attributes of the 21st century auditor. We call that version 1 of what we're about ready to chat about, this being version 2.
And it's so important today because you've heard even today so many of the speakers talk about the importance of talent. How do you attract, how do you retain, and how do you develop your top talent?
Unemployment rates are at an all-time low when it comes to internal auditors. It's counterintuitive to what you see in the United States and other countries on what the unemployment rate is, 6.7% for instance here in the United States. But in audit, it's about half of that. So where are you going to find the good talent? How are you going to develop the good talent? And how are you going to retain them?
And it becomes so important to internal auditors today because, as Paul mentioned, the boards, the regulators, everybody's demanding a higher bar from internal audit. So it's important for us to realize that in today's workforce, employees are disengaged, as studies show, and they don't stay as long as they did in the past. So how do we as a Chief Audit Executive get involved and engage with our team members? How do we understand where they are in their career, where they may want to be, help them with career pathing so they feel like our company, our audit function cares about them. We can make that connection, we can continue to develop them, and if they are interested in moving, they move within the company and not outside of the company.
Right. Very often we hear, personally as a talent manager, as a recruiter, we've heard, should I invest in the people? They're just going to leave me anyways. Well, it's the old chicken or the egg. If you don't invest, they're going to leave. If you do invest, hopefully, as Larry said, they're going to move within the organization. They're going to be part of your internal audit brand as they move throughout the career path, hopefully within your organization. Also, we address multi-generational issues. Very important topic right now. As Gen Y starts to become more of the population of available workers. Boomers are retiring, Gen X is staying stable, but Y, and then the new generation is what's often called Z, is actually gaining momentum. The Gen Z would be those graduating from university right now.
And one of the challenges that we see is in the internal audit profession, the average internal auditor is investing 40 hours a year in learning. And part of what we're trying to get across to those attending today is the importance of being continuous learners, sponges when it comes to learning. 40 hours is just not enough. The world's changing so fast. Technology's changing, risks are changing, expectations for internal audit are changing. And so we're also trying to motivate those that are there to think about continuous learning in a very different way. Because we're not only trying to talk to the teams that these folks will be leading, we're trying to talk to those sitting there in the seats listening to us this afternoon, making sure they understand the importance of brand, they understand the importance of obsolescence, and that they are leading by having their own career plan, making the investments in themselves, and having the tools to reach out across their organization and do the same for them.
Yep. Last but not least, we'll look at the challenge and the tendency to go it alone. A lot of the internal audit departments that we deal with, and I'm not saying with Larry, but with many audit departments, they like to go it alone. There's a host of outside services and inside services within many large companies that can help you path the employee, get them to the next level. So if it's the outside service, it could be an Institute of Internal Audit, right? It could be an inside service, your human resource department. It's also we're going to talk a little bit about mentoring and the quality of mentoring both inside the organization and outside the organization. So not going it alone is a very important concept, and we're going to talk about that at length.
And on the mentoring, we want to emphasize, too many people think mentoring is my coaching someone else. But as a older generation individual, it's important for me to have reverse mentoring. Talk to some of those Gen Ys, talk to the Gen Zs, understand what motivates them, understand the things that drives them. Because to be a leader today, you need to be a chameleon. You need to be different to all the people who work for you. When I started in my career, the boss was the boss and everybody adjusted to the boss. In today's environment, the boss must be the chameleon and recognize that he or she must be different things to different people that work for them. They must understand the employee as a customer. And just like we treat each customer differently, treating each team member or employee differently is really important. And we'll touch on some of that in our session as well.